My guest today is a composer, a band leader, extraordinary trumpet player, 7-time Grammy winner, Oscar nominated for film scores, the great Terence Blanchard. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh man, thank you for having me.
So, easy question to start off. When did you start playing the trumpet?
Ooh, man, I was in fourth grade at elementary school. I had been taking piano lessons from the age of 5, and there was a guy named Alvin Alcorn who came to my elementary school and gave us a demonstration in New Orleans, traditional style jazz, and that trumpet just caught my attention. So I've been playing ever since then.
So you were about 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I watch my own daughter who plays the piano. We watch kids, they say, I want to be this, I want to be that when I grow up. When did you know music was going to be it?
A couple of things. I wanted to play out and play football. I wanted to be an athlete. And my dad stopped me. You know, I got selected to an all-city team, and he saw a documentary about concussions. So he stopped me from playing. But then when I was in high school, I played at the Bayou Classic, and I saw Gramblin's football team get off the bus, and those dudes were so big, I immediately pulled out my horn and started practicing. So that was it for me.
I hear you. I love that. So I wonder, on this journey, while learning your craft of music and playing an instrument, were there doubts? Were there moments where you thought, maybe this won't work?
Well, I mean, there's always that question, you know, when you're young, you know, you don't know where to go or what to do. But the thing is, the more and more you learn about your instrument or the music, the more and more certain doors start to open up for you, you know. So for me, that meant moving to New York, which I couldn't do right away. So I went to Rutgers University and I lived in New Jersey for a couple of years, which allowed me to meet somebody who was playing in Lionel Hampton's band, Paul Jeffries. He was the instructor there. He got me in Lionel Hampton's band, and then things just kind of took off from there.
You come from a long line of incredible trumpet players in your hometown of New Orleans. Louis Armstrong, Buddy Bolden, Wynton Marsalis, that's just a few. What is it about your hometown that produces all of this talent?
You know, man, Len, I think it's one of those things, we don't realize it as a kid, but we hear this music all the time. We hear it in marching bands, brass bands. We hear it, in the clubs, and it's just something that's just kind of becomes a part of your DNA. Like I find it amazing now. Even now, I see a lot of young kids who are playing in brass bands, and when I listen to them play, man, I hear them playing Louis Armstrong phrases, and they don't even realize where it comes from. But it's become a part of the fabric of our culture in our city.
Let's talk about your visit to Houston. You're going to perform from your second opera called Fire Shut Up in My Bones, based on a memoir by New York Times columnist Charles Blow. What attracted you to that book to make it into an opera?
Well, first off, I mean, I've always loved Charles's writing, and I've always thought that he was, I think that he's a brilliant, a mind in the world of journalism. And when I read his book, him being from Louisiana was a thing that caught my attention immediately. But it was really his overcoming, being abused as a kid, struggling with his identity as a kid, especially at a time when he was coming of age, and to see him come through all of that to be the amazing success that he is today, I thought it would be not only a powerful story, but hopefully a helpful story, because, this is a person who's still with us. Because a lot of times when we do these stories, they're done posthumously, but now we have a guy who's gone through this, and we can still get his perspective and listen to him talk about how he came through it. And I remember the night that we premiered it in St. Louis, I walked over to him and I said, "Are we okay? Is everything good?" And the first thing he said to me, he said, "Oh yeah, this was great for me to see." He said, "Made me realize I'm not that person anymore," which was a really powerful thing for me to even experience, and made me proud that we did the story.
What do you hope the audience gets after leaving the performance here in Houston? What do you want them to feel?
Well, the first part of it is just to get a sense of Charles's life, to get a sense of his story, and what he went through. That's the first thing. The other thing too is, just to feel the power of these amazing voices that are going to be performing with us. One of the things that I've learned being in this world is that, man, there are a ton of young, very talented African American opera singers who don't get enough light or shine, and one of the things that I've been really feeling blessed about is how these pieces have been giving them an opportunity to be recognized, on a broader stage, if you will, because, it's an amazing crew of people that I've met, and I got to tell you this, when we first went to do the rehearsal the first day at the Met, it's like an amazing thing to walk into a room of like 50 people, bro, and be the only dude who can't sing,
That's impressive. How did you make the jump from jazz to opera?
Well, it's kind of an interesting thing. I've always loved classical music. I heard opera a lot growing up in the house because of my father. My father sang. He was an amateur baritone and loved the music. So it's always been a part of me as well. But, it goes back to my composition teacher, Roger Dickinson, who really helped me analyze and see how to break down ideas and look at them in their purest form, and which could allow you to manipulate them. So for me, I'm not even thinking about whether I'm going back and forth between jazz or opera. I'm really just trying to tell a story, utilizing all the tools at my disposal, like Stravinsky would or Tchaikovsky would, because I have a feeling, if those guys were alive today, they would be doing similar things. We have all of this music that has been created throughout the world, and anybody who can sit down and see the core elements of those can take those elements and shift them into the operatic or orchestral world and use those tools to build on those ideas to help tell stories that are kind of relevant to our lives today.
You said in an interview, Terence, once that you'd like to play feel-good party music, but sometimes my music is about the beauty of where we are. Explain.
Well, when I put together this band that I have, the E Collective, initially I put it together, to inspire young people who may not want to play acoustic music, but want to play electric music, to do it on a high level and have fun with it. But while we were doing that, man, Tamir Rice was shot, there was Mike Brown was shot. There were a lot of people who were being killed at the hands of law enforcement. And there was a lot of, as we've just seen in Maine, a lot of incidents of gun violence in our country. So my conscience wouldn't allow me to write music that was, based around just having a good time, because at that time, we were so consumed in the news about talking about politics. That's all you would hear. But my thing is, we need to, find room to focus on what's going on in our country with guns, and that's where I felt an obligation for the music to shift so we could try to heal some souls, because there's a lot of people out there that are hurting, man. And, we have to really pay attention to that. Even the shooter in Maine, we found out that he was dealing with mental issues and was in a lot of pain, and people knew it for a long time, but didn't do anything about it. And now he's caused a lot of pain, in our community. So, with what we're doing musically, we just want to try to shine a light on some of these issues where we could hopefully help people heal and help change some hearts and minds to see if we could make our community better.
So I interviewed Nicholas Newton, bass baritone, who's going to be in the show with you. He told me that he has been to your home in New Orleans for Thanksgiving. I want to know what's on the menu.
Man, you got to come there to check it out. I can't tell you that. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the menu. My wife she's from Washington, D.C., man. So we don't necessarily have a traditional dinner. We will have turkey. We will have some of those things. But, man, she's a really great cook, and she'll put a lot of different things together because she knows some people are vegan, some people are pescatarians. So we'll have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Are you in New Orleans primarily, or are you splitting your time?
I'm in New Orleans. That's where I live, but I have, I'm the new artistic director at SF Jazz. So I've been spending time there.
In San Francisco?
San Francisco, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah. So I wonder, in New Orleans, I know it's home, can you walk around without being bothered?
Oh, of course, because it's home.
That's just Terrence.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, the people who know me, they've been knowing me for years. People I've grown up with. I mean, all of us, there are a lot of us who've come up together. You know, it's our time where people have become judges, lawyers, and doing a lot of great things in the city and doing everything they can to help make the city better. So but the cool thing about it, when we hang out, brother, we're just friends. You know, none of that stuff matters. You know, it's kind of interesting. One of my friends, you know, works at the DOJ. Another friend of mine is a federal judge who, you know, next thing I know, he invited me to dinner. I'm having dinner with Eric Gardner. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, the former
Attorney General?
Attorney General. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I mean, but at the end of the day, we're all just friends. You know, we sit down and lament the loss of our Saints record being 4-4. You know, we sit down and suffer over watching our Pelicans lose to the Warriors. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's really who we are. I mean, you know, the thing about it, we have these careers, but that's only a portion of who we are as people.
Well, as a Texan fan and as a Houston Rockets fan, we feel your pain.
Well, look, we lost to you guys, the Texans. You know what I mean?
We're still on a rebound.
You can't feel much pain. Yeah, okay.
Still on a rebound. Couple quick points I wanted to ask. People may not be aware that you score films. You've done a lot for Spike Lee. You did Harriet. You've done Inside Man. When I hear you score, these are the words that come to mind: sweeping, epic, emotive, broad. I mean, what are you thinking? Take me through the process of scoring a film.
You know, I've been really blessed, Len, to work with like really great people. Spike, Casey Lemons, who did Harriet, and Gina Prince Bythewood, who had just done The Woman King. You know, and one of the things about working with great people like that, I was just talking about it in the master class last night, and I said, you know, it's like being on the court with Michael Jordan, bro, and you're on a fast break, and you're the last dude before the ball goes in the hoop. You can't screw that shot up. You know what I mean? So for me, the first thing I'm thinking about is just don't mess this up, man. You know, they've given you this film that's beautiful with great acting, you know, great characters, you know, great wardrobe. When I first saw The Woman King, when she showed it to me, man, I was in tears just watching it. And my next thought is, you know, it's an important thing for us for me as an African American who's getting a chance to score these stories, to make sure that they would stand the test of time and that they compete with everything else that's out on the market. Because I want my great-grandchildren to sit down and watch these and be proud, you know, because these stories are important. So you try to pay homage to the story. It's always, that's the most important thing. You know, when I did The Buffalo Soldiers with Miracle at St. Anna with Spike, same thing, you know, or doing Harriet, you know, those are really important stories about who we are as a people and what we've come through. And you want to make sure that 20 years, 40 years from now, people can sit down and look at these movies and get a sense of who we are and be inspired about their history.
The great Terence Blanchard, we thank you for joining us. I look forward to the concert. Safe travels, my friend.
Thank you, man. Look forward to seeing you.